Nick, 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 Nick.
Tango, 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 tango.
So exciting. It's so exciting.
Oh, I love it when we do that.
every time either of us goes in each other's chats.
Yeah, it's
It's the
beautiful.
best. It's the best. How are we doing tonight, Nick?
I am doing swell, my man. A lot of fun things coming up. WBC coming up this week. Just it's gonna be awesome. I love the competition and everything.
Yeah, very exciting. More and more baseball stuff happening every day. So let's get into some MLB The Show stuff. So this
Yes,
week,
sir.
or not this week, last week, feature premiere, if you can even call it that. I don't even know what to call it. Literally, like I went to go watch it, and I was like 10 minutes late, and I was like, oh, I'll still catch most of it.
Mhm.
And I watched it for like a minute, and then all of a sudden it was over, and so I had to like go back and rewatch it, and they really did not talk about very much on this one.
Yeah, it was what, like 14 minutes? 14 minutes
Yeah,
long
something like that.
premiere. You can't even call it a feature premiere at that point, but it kind of has me worried for other things coming to the show, like franchise this week on Thursday, I believe. We got a couple other feature premieres coming afterwards. So I'm not gonna lie, it kind of has me a little bit worried for the other game modes and such. Um, they just didn't add a whole bunch. I mean, there is stuff that we can talk about and everything, but
Yeah,
not not a lot that I thought it would be.
we'll still cover what they talked about. I mean, there are some, I guess, upgrades. I don't know, like not really new features, but some upgrades made to Road to the Show
Mm-hmm.
that they showed off. Mostly just sort of cosmetic stuff. Um, but yeah, I just like it. Just seemed like if you're like a full time Road to the Show guy, if that's the mode that you play, if that's why you're buying MLB The Show, I if I'm that person, I am not impressed at all with what I saw. It's just sort of like a bit of a slap in the face, in my opinion, of just like, oh yeah, it just makes it seem like they don't care about that mode at all, which is not what you want. Like you never want to see that.
Mm.
You want it to feel like every aspect of the game gets just as much attention as everything else, and unfortunately, it just feels so far like that's just not the case right now for Road to the Show.
Yeah, yeah. Like you want to be able to like reach out to all like different fans of MLB The Show, like all different modes within the show. Like not everybody's a Diamond Dynasty player. Not everybody plays Road to the Show. Not everybody plays franchise. But there are people that primarily play franchise, that do primarily play Diamond Dynasty, Road to the Show, even March to October. I've seen some people just play March to October and everything, which is completely fine, which is awesome. The game, it's a lot of fun regardless of what mode you're playing. But like if you're gonna have the game mode in the game, there's got to be changes every year. Like you got to add some new stuff. You got to retract some things that didn't work before. Um, I feel like that's just like a common sense kind of thing that you have to like improve every year, or else it's just kind of a slap in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like you just don't want it to get stale. Um,
Mm.
yeah, so just to go over kind of what they did talk about. I mean, I think the first thing they brought up was sort of like with the dynamic challenges. In the
Hmm.
last year or two, when a dynamic challenge would come up, it would sort of take over the screen and not really pause the game, but it would sort of delay you for, maybe 30 seconds or whatever before you could, make the choice of which challenge you wanted to take on. And now it just sort of like pops up on the side of the screen, doesn't really get in the way, looks a little bit cleaner. So I mean,
Hmm.
that's nice. Like that's nice, but I don't know. It doesn't
It
not.
doesn't. It doesn't really do a whole lot for the mode in itself.
Yeah, it's like I guess it keeps you in the game. You're playing the game more often and not taking as many little breaks, but it's not really
Hmm.
an improvement, I would say. Um, One thing I guess is kind of new, or they're bringing it back. Something that they had in previous years was the like the sort of like what is it, like the live practice kind of stuff.
Yeah, the
So
on-field stuff.
yeah, the
Yeah.
on-field practice, that's what it is. So when you're instead of last year they had some mini games, or you would just sort of like choose, oh, I'm going to go in the batting cage, but you wouldn't actually do anything. You would just sort of pick that. But now you can go, practice, pitching, or go do some batting practice and stuff in certain
Yeah,
situations
so
too.
it's a lot less of a simulation in a way.
Yeah, yeah. It's more, actually dependent on you, the player, to boost your rating and your attributes that way. But again, like my kind of thoughts on that are, like I guess it's good to have, and I would want to know, as a road to the show player, how much are those like training things going to affect my stats or my attributes? Because if they're not giving you like a fairly significant boost, to me, I would rather just like go play my AA game and get the the attributes you know improve my attributes that way, from just playing the game, rather than like, oh, I'm just gonna go like
Yeah.
do some practicing. But I mean, again, that's not something that I really care about. I don't play a lot of road to the show, so we'll see. I don't know, maybe road to the show players, that's something they've been looking for, something that kind of, I mean, I guess it's another thing that's just, it's just another thing for them, so it's good in that way. But
Yeah,
it's
like
just,
it adds kind of like to the story and everything too.
yeah, it's just
So
not
like you're just playing something extra.
right. It's just like doesn't seem like very exciting.
Mm.
But there it is. And then what was oh, there's the new, what was it? The something new with the draft, right? Or
The
when
new
you
the new draft animation. So
right.
whenever you get picked by a team in your room to the show, there's a brand new animation. It's like a stage, and then like the big sports shows and everything. They have
Yeah.
like the big round. I don't know what it's called, but
Just like a big backdrop and
yeah, and it's got like the team's logo and everything like that. It's got your
yeah.
name, the player. I think it's pretty cool. Instead of like you said, like it's better than the phone call and everything like that. It's a lot more flashy in a way. I like it quite a bit, and a couple people that I know, like via Twitter and via my stream chat and everything like that, have said that this could be like the possible new diamond animation when you're opening packs in MLB The Show. Like I could definitely see it because it's a little bit different. I think the color scheme from like the past couple of years, like 20 and 2022, when we're looking for like a red, gold, blue, aqua color, whatever. Like I feel like that's going to be interpreted with this draft scene, quote unquote draft scene. Like I think that's what it's going to be for diamonds, and then it'll be the show.
It could be. It does like kind of give off that same kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like sort of having the focus of like the player model, like kind of being in the middle, surrounded by the stage, and then just like the rolling smoke and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. I really hope that, like, not that they need to completely change it, but um, for the diamond animation, I just want something new and fresh and something a little bit different that maybe we haven't seen before.
Mm.
Shameless plug for my own YouTube. You can go check it out now, live on YouTube. I did a video where I went back into every MLB The Show since MLB 19 and opened packs until I pulled a diamond in every one of them. And so you get to see all the different diamond animations, and it's changed a lot. Like 21 and 22 were pretty similar, but 19 and 20 were a lot different. So I just like change. I like things to
Yeah,
be new and feel new. But
I
again,
think I think we're definitely going to get changed possibly with this. I wouldn't I wouldn't hate it if they changed up like how they deliver it with the colors and everything.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind if they changed that completely. Um,
Well, if
I
you
don't I don't I don't really know.
if you go watch my video, because you said you didn't really play in 19, the MLB Show
No.
19 diamond like animation reveal is really cool. It's probably my favorite of the last 4 years, and like a lot as far as like sort of the like what leads into like how it kind of shows you which player you're getting. Just watch it. For anybody that knows, it's pretty cool. I'm actually going to be probably doing a short about it too, just that one, posting that. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens if this draft, sort of like draft reveal video from Road to the Show is anything like what we're going to get for Diamond Animations in Diamond Dynasty. We'll find out probably when they do that stream, maybe. Well, maybe like, I don't know if they'll show us. They probably won't. I don't think they've showed us the Diamond animation that's sort of like.
No, they haven't yet. They've only shown us
but they
what the card art is going to look like.
Yeah, they shouldn't, like, because that's something you want to experience when you pull your first Diamond of the year.
Of course, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's the best feeling. I can't wait.
Oh, it absolutely is, man. I can't wait to not pull Trout at all next year.
We're just going to bring this up every episode that Nick never pulls Trout, apparently. I'm going to pull Trout in the first pack I open. Could you imagine, like, the very first pack you open all year?
Oh, my God. You'd have to be the luckiest person in the world.
I wonder if Trout, because he's probably not going to be, like, the top live series card. I'm guessing Aaron Judge will be, or Shohei.
I think it's one of the two.
But, like, if just because of the value and where Trout's been over the last, 5-6 years in Diamond Dynasty, if he's still going to be, like, the most expensive guy, who knows? Because he was always, like, the number one gatekeeper for everything when it came to live series collections. But we'll see. Who knows? I
think he'll probably still be the most expensive, but I don't think he's going to be the highest overall. I think the highest overall is Shohei Ohtani. I think he had a 96 in the tech test. I think I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we'll see where. I mean, we'll probably find out some of it on Wednesday when they're doing those reveals.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So
far they're doing the Yankees and the Padres top 5 cards.
I feel like we'll get a few. Like, usually when they do that, they do like top 5 or 10 at every position is what they've done in the past. I don't know if they're going to go through like all the teams or just maybe the big teams and show us, but we'll see. I mean, definitely I'd be surprised if the top 3 wasn't Trout, Ohtani, and Judge for this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe DeGrom, but it's hard because it's like DeGrom when he pitches, he's the best pitcher on the planet, but he just hasn't. Like, when's the last time he played even like 3/4 of a season, let alone a full season?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. But I guess to get back on track with Road to the Show and the feature premiere and everything they talked about, the other, I guess probably the biggest announcement from it, which it's kind of funny that they went over it again in the premiere because they had sort of dropped that little video on Twitter and all their social medias about it. But Face Scan is coming to MLB The Show. You don't have to sit there for 15 hours trying to make your ball player look, and in the end just looks nothing like you. It's so hard. Like, we all, you always have like a weird vision in your mind of what you look like. And then so you, like, when you try to create it, it's just it never looks like.
No, it's never accurate.
It's never, not even close. But yeah, Face Scan. So what are your thoughts on Face Scan, Nick?
My thoughts on Face Scan, I think it's a really fun addition to Road to the Show. I think a lots of people are going to use this. Of course, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to do this to your Caps and Diamond Dynasty as well. I'm assuming since it is connected to your show account. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Like you said, it's going to be easier to construct yourself in the game. It takes a lot of time. I did it, like, I created Barry Bonds a couple years ago in MLB The Show 20, and man, I wish Face Scan was a thing back in the day. But people are going to have fun with it. Of course, you're going to see like lots of celebrities and stuff like that. People are going to take their face scans. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. What about you? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's definitely a welcome addition. I mean, and the fact that it's all you have to do is take one picture. So I'm not sure if you've ever played much like 2K or anything like that. So 2K, the face scan, you'd like go on their app or whatever, and you would kind of do like the same thing you do sometimes if you're like trying to verify yourself for like a security in certain apps when they're like, oh, you got to like look in every direction when they're trying to like make sure it's you. So yeah, you're like looking all over the place, and then half the time it's like, oh no, you got to do it again or whatever. But what they're saying is for MLB The Show, if you have the companion app, you go into whatever the face scan part of it, you take one picture of your face, and then you're in the game. It automatically will link to your show account and then to your ball player. I'm guessing you can just choose it. And then you are able to go in and, change your haircut, your facial hair, things like that, your eye color, whatever. I guess they just don't let you change like your face shape. That's kind of like what you said.
Yeah, like the structure and everything.
Yeah. So, if you want to go take a picture of Nick and give him dreadlocks or something like that, you can do that. You can put Rasta Nick in the MLB The Show.
Gonna give me dreads, Tango.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you dreads. It's gonna be you and me, dreadlocks. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's fun. I think it's a cool new addition. I still hate having created players in Diamond Dynasty, but I don't think, it doesn't seem like they're ever going to go away.
No, I don't think so because, it just like, especially if you're not like a huge Diamond Dynasty person, like if you just want to play offline, you can do that offline. You don't have to do it online. Like if you want to create your player, you don't want to play Road to the Show because, it's too repetitive or something like that. Then you can just play, against different teams with different difficulties and stuff like that. And just with your creative player and everything.
I will say, I feel like in MLB 22 was probably like the least amount of created players I've seen in Diamond Dynasty.
Now there's going to be a lot next year just with the face scan and everything. So MLB The Show players, beware.
We'll see. Like, I mean, I feel like it's going to be one of those things for like the guys who play a lot of Diamond Dynasty. Like we'll probably do it. We'll scatter things in there, but like they give us so many good cards to use now that it's like, do I want to put myself in, or like, do I want to, because in the past it was always sort of like shortstops, back catchers, and then obviously like relief pitchers were sort of the meta for where to put your caps.
Never again.
But I mean, like tons of options at those. And with the fact that they can just give you any card series for any player and give you just some boosted up card, like I think there's less incentive than ever to like kind of use a cheesy OP cap in DD, but who knows? We'll see. You'll see them, and I do think like one of the good things of it, and like when you talk about using celebrities or whatever, but using other players and legends that aren't in the game, or even like players from other sports. We can go like put LeBron James on your team. Whoever.
I had a feeling you were going to mention LeBron.
I mean, he's just like such a popular person. I don't know.
Yeah. I that'd be a lot of fun. I think that's going to happen quite a bit next year.
Yeah, you get.
It's really popular at the very beginning of the game cycle too, because, this year with sets and seasons and everything, you're going to be able to get 99s day one if you really grind for it. So it's probably going to be a lot easier than caps, but people are still going to have caps a lot more at the beginning of the year compared to like middle of the year, end of the year, everything like that.
Yeah, it'll all depend on how fast the progression is with Road to the Show, and like if you're able to get your guys super boosted up super quickly or not, because it's kind of always all over the place whether you can or not. So who knows? We'll find out. But yeah, I mean, face scan, I think it's good.
I think it's a huge dub.
Yeah, huge dubs for face scan. Yeah, then we can get into last week's legend reveals. So they went with they gave us Carlos Pena and Jake Peavy. They are in MLB The Show as playable characters. I think Pena's been in the game as like an analyst in Road to the Show, but now you can actually
2 games. I
is
believe.
it? But now you'll actually be able to use his player cards in MLB The Show. So. Yeah, Nick, what do you think? Carlos Pena, Jake Peavy.
Honestly, like there's a lot of legends that people aren't going to want to use, and these guys probably apply to that. But me personally, I love Jake Peavy growing up. Big fan of his. I think he's going to be absolutely disgusting, especially if he gets an awards card from that 2007 year that he won the Cy Young Award. Carlos Pena is going to absolutely mash against right-handed pitching. Against left-handed pitching, not so much, I don't think. But he did have a very solid prime. He's got a lot of power. I think both cards are going to be a lot of fun to use, especially for team builds and whatnot. Of course, Carlos Pena, you're going to get another all-time Rays card right there. Jake Peavy with the Padres, the Red Sox, everything like that.
Pena played for a lot of teams.
Cards. Did Pena play for a lot of teams? The Tigers as well.
Look at this. Rangers, Texas, Oakland, Detroit, Boston, Tampa, the Cubs, Houston, Kansas City. I had no idea he played for so many teams.
What?
He played.
Okay, we got KC Royals legend.
He played. He had 3 at bats for the Royals in 2013.
Oh, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. We got a new legend in the game.
He went
boys.
0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Give us a common flashback. Carlos Pena, 2013 for the Royals.
Well, it's good his prime wasn't with the Royals; it was with the Rays. But I'm down. I did not know he played for the Royals. That's crazy.
Yeah,
oh man, that makes me more excited for Carlos Pena.
There you go. Now you can add him to your squad, and then you have Peavy with Padres, White Sox, Red Sox, and the Giants. So a couple of more fun additions for the all-time teams. Yeah,
it's great for that.
My thoughts on these two is they kind of fall in the same category as the guys we got last week. We're just like good players, but
nothing like crazy.
Nothing crazy. Like maybe my hopes are too high or something, but I just feel like in the past, these kind of players, like they always just like threw them kind of into the trailer. They weren't like dropping them as like, oh, we're revealing a legend. It was just sort of like, they were like, oh, that's cool, he's in the trailer. That's cool, he's in the trailer. And then when they did legend reveals, it was like, oh, by the way, David Ortiz is in the game. And you're like, oh shit, right? Like, so again, like hopefully they're fun to use. I mean, it's always good to just have new cards to use, more cards to use,
more variety.
Yeah, more variety. And then, especially with the way they're doing with sets and seasons, like we'll see, where some of these guys' cards show up in the game. It's looking like from what they showed that live series collection rewards for teams are going to be some of these new legends. They showed Pena and Peavy as captain cards for live series captains. And also as core set cards, so cards you'll be able to use throughout the entirety of the game cycle. So I wouldn't be surprised if like Greg Vaughn and Mike Lowell like were also captains, and also falling under that live series rewards. Who knows? We'll find out in 2 weeks. Oh, we're so close, Nick. We are so close.
I just can't wait. There's still so much that they haven't revealed yet. Like franchise this coming week. You got the ratings reveal on Wednesday. I think there's a developers tournament.
Yeah,
I believe like in a couple weeks, and then the content stream, just before launch, and then of course early access from the 24th to the 28th, and then full launch on the 28th. I just cannot wait for MLB The Show 23. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Obviously, there's new stuff, but
the dev tournament's kind of fun to watch. Like usually, I feel like I swear in the past they used to always do it like the day before the game launched. Excuse me. So it would they would finish the tournament and then like basically as when they were done would be like the midnight launch. But it's kind of fun to watch. Like they're just live on SDS's Twitch for like 15 hours straight playing the game. So you get to see a lot of gameplay.
It'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah. And then hopefully it'll be, be able to get lots of free drops, packs. Because I wasn't even able to get one pack from that stream they did last week. Like
nobody was.
That's how short it was. You couldn't even get one pack. Like they always are like, make sure you have drops on because we're not even going to be live long enough for you to get one pack.
I'm pretty sure you have to watch any stream with packs enabled for 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I think it's every 30
minutes.
Yeah, it was weird though because the first stream they did, my inventory shows that I got 31 packs from that, which I think you only should have been able to get 2. So I'm hoping it's legit when I get the game.
Yeah, that was glitching for everybody. I saw someone had like 60 some packs.
That I open up my game and all of a sudden 30 packs show up. They had so many issues with Twitch drops last year, though. It seemed like nobody could ever get them. They all worked for me. Like I was able to
I
get.
don't think I
all
ever
of my...
claimed any from like any of the past SES streams. I gotta go check that out later.
Free packs, man. Free packs are huge at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, of course.
One more chance for a diamond. Hopefully, I can pull just anybody good.
I can't wait to pull Chris Sale opening night like 5 times.
My last 2 first pulls of the years were both Dodgers. It was Freddie Freeman this past year, and then Bellinger the year before when Bellinger started the year as a 90 and finished as like a bronze.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh god.
Oh yeah, you know who I want to pull day one? Mookie Betts. Give me a Mookie Betts card, especially since he's going to be like, I think he's going to play a lot of infield this year with Gavin Lux out.
I want Ohtani day one.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
I'm shooting for the sky. Give me Ohtani day one.
I would rather have Ohtani. He's going to be probably like 600K day one.
Yeah. Him and Trout and Judge, they're all going to be 500 plus.
Oh yeah, all the 90 pluses will be up there. So yeah, we kind of mentioned it, or sorry, anything else to add with Pena and Peavy? I mean, I don't know what else. I feel like we talked about more about this off stream, but I can't remember.
Yeah, just that they're going to be fun legends to use. I don't know. Well, obviously, you know, we've been getting like a lot more. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Like obviously they're good legends and everything, but they're kind of like building up to the bigger legends coming out and everything. Like if they have Beltre coming, if they have David Wright or like Manny Ramirez or something, like they started really high with the Derek Jeter reveal, the Negro Leagues and everything, and then you know Ian Kinsler, Greg Vaughn, Mike Lowell and everything. They're great legends to have in the game. I'm excited to try them out, but I think what SDS is trying to do is trying to build up that momentum. And just, you know, release all the like more insane legends coming, like near the end before launch.
Hopefully, please.
Kind of like it's more of a surprise.
I wonder who or how many they might leave and give us like as the game is going on, like Roy Halladay last year. Like, because he was never announced, and then they're like, oh, there's a new legend coming for whatever this featured program, and then it was Halladay. So we'll see. I
think maybe they'll leave 5, like maybe like 4 or 5 new legends to announce throughout the year and everything.
I just hope they're like worth it. You gotta make it worth it. Yeah, new cards is good. So hopefully,
yes,
yeah, I just want it like. I just want the game. I just want to know who all's in the game.
I want something new to stream. I stream 5 times a week, and I need something new.
I need something to grind for. I'm a slave to the MLB The Show grind. So we did kind of mention it, but Wednesday they're going to be doing rating reveals for Diamond Dynasty. So yeah, they've tweeted out, guess who the top 5 Yankees and the top 6, I think they showed for the Padres. So it's going to be fun to see. I mean, hopefully they give us, I don't know if they'll give us like all the top players, but it's always fun to see, they'll show some new card art, show us, who are the cards that we're really going to be chasing in these packs right at the beginning of the year. And then they also said they have some surprise reveals as well. So what's that going to be? Is it going to be new legends? Is it going to be, different types of a different series, a new series of card or something like that? Maybe some of the team captains they'll give us. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that they could drop during this stream. I personally cannot wait for the ratings reveal just to see what the card art's going to be like and everything. And like you said, chasing just trying to see who we're going to be chasing day one when it comes to packs and everything. But my theory with the ratings reveal and everything, I think they're probably going to drop the top 5 teams with the highest rated live series overall cards. So the Yankees, it makes sense with like Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole, whatnot. The Padres with Juan Soto, Xander Bogaerts and everything like that. Manny Machado. Like I feel like we're gonna get like the three other teams are gonna be like the other
Like
higher
the
rated overall team.
Mets, maybe like well,
The
I'm like
Dodgers.
the Braves. Like who else in the American
You
League?
could possibly
The
do the Jays
Astros.
too. The Astros too, yeah.
You know, my heart would say you could do the Jays, but they like their live series ratings have been just getting kicked in the teeth last year. You had like Bo Bichette led the American League in hits 2 years in a row. Like I know he had like a down first like 2/3 of the season, but then he was the best hitter in the planet for the last 5 weeks of the year. And then Vladdy like again had a down year for Vlad, but he still had like an OPS plus of like 130 and hit like 30 bombs and had almost 100 RBIs. So it's like and Vlad wasn't even an 84. He was an 83 gold to end the year. I'm like, what? Like 83? Danny Jansen. I mean, Danny Jansen was amazing last year, but he was the highest live series rated Blue Jay. Make it make sense, Nick. Make it make sense.
And I mean, Alejandro Kirk was at least a diamond too, which was nice.
Not when the year finished, though. The only Blue Jays live series diamonds right now are Alek Manoah and Danny Jansen. And then you have like a bunch of golds. So like Kirk, Vlad, Bo, Springer.
I could have sworn Kirk was a diamond.
He was at one point, but not to finish the year. Facts.
Oh, okay.
I know.
All right.
I know. But he had a great first half of the year, and then he kind of leveled off a bit. Although I'm excited for him next year, though. I'm excited for everybody on that team, though. Ooh, they have so much potential.
Must be nice to be excited about your team.
30. I know it's spring training, but they scored 34 runs in their last 2 games combined. So I mean that's exciting.
And the Royals have been doing pretty well too in spring training, I must say.
Who's been like the standout, like guys you would expect, or some young kids, or what?
I mean, the whole Royals organization as a whole is young.
That's true.
I think the oldest player on the team.
It's got to be what, like
it would have
Greinke?
to be Salvador Perez or Greinke, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they have lots of like young, like pretty
Aroldis Chapman, but we try not to recognize him.
the oldest piece of shit on the team.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean what you got like MJ Melendez and
Bobby Witt Jr.
Pasquantino. Oh yeah, Bobby Witt Jr.
I love Vinny. I'm a huge Vinny fan.
Lots of talent, and then lots of pitching talent too. Singer.
You just gotta take a little bit of time to develop first.
Yeah, they need some. I mean, they need a lot, but we'll see. We'll see. They got a bright future. At least it's kind of exciting to have like young players that are exciting to watch.
Yeah, especially Bobby Witt Jr. That's my man right there.
And you can still like rest your head at night knowing that they won a World Series less than 10 years ago. So
Yankees fans cry.
If there's one thing that we are not, it's Yankees fans. We are absolutely
that's a fact.
Boo. Yeah. Boo Yankees. You know what the part that I hate about it is I actually like don't hate Aaron Judge, and I've always been a fan of Stanton. The rest of that team can kind of go kick rocks, but I like those two guys.
Yeah, me too. I'm in the same boat. Like I like the players in the team. I just don't like the organization in general.
Yeah, they're a bunch
which
of
I feel like is fair enough.
And I just feel like, like obviously they're always going to be relevant and they've been good, but like, man, it's got to be like really frustrating to be a Yankees fan because they just like they set the bar so high for like 30, 40, 50 years and then they just like haven't quite got there. But they have, the best hitter arguably in the league. So they got a lot of potential. That team's going to do well this year. They always do well. I thought it was so funny last year when people were like, they're fourth place team. I'm like, no, they're not. I don't care who. I don't care.
Yeah, I was that person. I said they were a fourth place team, but being in the American League East doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. They could all tie for first place. They could all make
finished,
the playoffs.
I think it's worse than like second in the division in like 25 years. I
thought they finished third place.
Maybe third, but like they've had a winning record like every year ever.
Yeah, of course,
and,
yeah.
Like it never seems to matter who's on their team. They always are like pretty much are in the playoffs, arguably can win the division, but
they're a very good developmental franchise.
yeah, and they have some deep pockets. So when
they spend the money, like they're doing all the right things, absolutely, for sure. Like they got a lot of good prospects coming up and everything. So
yeah, now they finally have like a
Yankees
lot of really good young talent with like Volpe and Oswaldo and stuff.
Dominguez.
But enough about the Yankees. We just talked about how we weren't Yankee fans, and then we just talked about them for like 10 minutes straight. So, boo Yankees, go Blue Jays and Royals. Even though Nick also doesn't
Yankees
cheer.
lose.
Oh, that's one of the greatest things ever. Big Poppy, we love you.
Yeah, I love Big Poppy.
Yeah, what else is coming up as far as MLB The Show news? We're getting one more legend reveal on Thursday.
Yeah, new legend reveal Thursday along with the franchise feature premiere.
Yeah, it's like franchise and
Wednesday
commentary.
we have the... Pardon?
Franchise and commentary and presentation too, isn't that mixed in?
Yes. We got commentary, presentation, franchise. The rating reveal Wednesday. I don't think there's anything else other than that coming this week.
No, I don't think so.
Of course, like the bunch of different surprises on Wednesday with the reveal.
Right.
The rating reveal.
More Twitter trolling maybe after they trolled us today. That
was bad.
It was good. Whoever's in charge of that social media account, kudos to them.
They honestly they do a great job.
I totally fell for it. I'm like, oh yeah, who is it? What free like new legend? Maybe they did. I'm like, oh no, they're just trolling because Twitter was having issues today, and you couldn't load pictures for a while.
Yeah, that was really
well
funny.
Well done.
I agree.
San Diego Studios
100%.
social media department.
Oh man.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it as far as like sort of new news for MLB The Show, and we're gonna switch over and talk about real life baseball. The World Baseball Classic starts tomorrow night. I thought it was later in the week, but tomorrow night is the first game.
I kept thinking it started on the 9th as well, but apparently it's tomorrow night.
Which game is it?
It is Cuba versus the Netherlands in Taiwan at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Cuba versus Netherlands in Taiwan.
Yes, sir. You know I'm gonna be staying up for that.
Do you know what they're showing it on in up here in Canada where we live?
Sportsnet and
Sportsnet.
something else that started with an A. I can't remember what it was, but Mookie was talking about it earlier.
All right, I have Sportsnet.
Yeah, I got Sportsnet baseball as well.
Did you see Shohei Ohtani hit 2 home runs today?
Yeah, 2 3-run homers in the exhibition game.
And like that one, he was like down on one knee, was like a low and away, and he just cranks it to dead center. Shohei Ohtani, you are a freak.
Crazy.
This dude.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani's just insane.
Like, man, the Angels could do some damage this year.
Yeah, I really hope so because, they fumbled the bag more than once over the past couple of years. Like having Trout, having Ohtani, like now I expect them to do a lot better because they have a lot more depth. They have Urshela, They have Hunter Renfroe, they got Jared Walsh still at first base. Who else did they add to their team? I honestly don't remember who else they have, but I think they added a bunch of bullpen pieces as well.
Yeah, their team's solid.
So,
they had a sneaky offseason. Sneaky good.
Yeah, they had a sneaky good offseason, but I do still think, the Astros run away with the division.
Yeah, there's no team in the entire MLB as good as the Astros. They're just...
No, there's really not.
Their team, like, somehow lost Carlos Correa and, like, got better. And
can't even talk about the cheating anymore. You really
and then
can't.
Now, like, and they got Jose Abreu who's like gonna bat like 6th in that lineup. Like, that's crazy. This dude.
Yeah, and he usually averages between 30 home runs a year, 110, 115 RBIs. Like, he's one of the more productive guys of the past 10 years. He's been one of the most productive guys under the radar.
I know it was a COVID year, but he was an MVP in the COVID year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we'll see. Plus, like, their pitching's just always amazing. So.
Oh, like Christian Javier, Jose Urquidy. Oh man, I love that.
Framber's like going to be a dark horse for Cy Young this year, I bet.
Framber Valdez. I think Framber and Christian Javier are going to be top 2.
And then just a lights out bullpen. The Astros can't be touched by anyone in the league.
No.
But hopefully, they don't win the World Series again. I would like to see somebody else like in the ALCS and in the World Series potentially. We've seen a lot of the Astros.
Other than the Astros and the Yankees, I want to see something different.
Yeah, give me Blue Jays Royals. But we come out on top this time.
Maybe.
Yeah, right. The Royals
Maybe.
aren't sniffing the playoffs this year. Who's going to win the? Who's
If we
winning
had
the?
Moose, then no.
Who's winning the AL Central? The Guardians, right? Got to be the
The
Guardians.
Guardians, I would have to say the Guardians, yeah.
Guardians. Sure. All right, but let's get into some World Baseball Classic stuff. So, yeah, for people listening, if you're not from Canada, which I would assume most of you are, who knows? Canada, we're unfortunately, like, as a country, not super into baseball. So, man,
more so hockey.
Way more so hockey, yeah. When it comes to Olympic hockey and World Junior hockey, people get crazy about that stuff up here. So it's kind of like unfortunate because, like, obviously Nick and I, like, baseball is my favorite sport by a long shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
And I kind of wish it was pushed a little bit more. I mean, don't get me wrong. Since the Blue Jays have been more relevant, like, there's definitely been more of a, baseball fandom in Canada.
Oh, absolutely.
Whole, since 2015.
Ever since 2015.
Yeah, since 2015, when the Jays kind of became relevant again after, that 20 years of just darkness, people have been a little bit more into baseball. I still don't see, like, this event being particularly, like, popular in Canada, which is kind of sad.
They just don't do anything with promoting.
They don't promote it. I was looking online, and you cannot find a Team Canada jersey anywhere. Like, they just don't exist. Like, you go on the MLB shop, you can find, big name players for other countries. If you want, like, an Arenado or a Trout USA jersey, or if you want, like, an Ohtani jersey, I'm sure you could get those. Vladdy and all the guys in the Dominican stuff. Team Canada, you can buy a hat, like, and it's a cool hat. Our logo is sweet, but you're not finding a jersey. It's really unfortunate because they're nice. Those Team Canada jerseys are actually, like, pretty nice.
The hats are really awesome too.
But let's talk a little bit about the Team Canada roster. So Team Canada has a very interesting mix of, like, old veterans, relevant players in the league, some up and coming sort of prospects, and then guys you've never heard of. So it's really kind of a mix of people all over the place. You got guys like a journeyman like John Axford in the bullpen, and then you got some young studs with Matt Brash, Cal Quantrill, Bo Naylor's up and coming. Obviously, Freddie Freeman being the headliner.
Yes, sir.
By far the best and most relevant player on our team.
Team captain.
So I'm excited to see what Freddie does. Thank you, Freddie, for playing for Team Canada this year. I know you have the option to play for the Team US, but
he decided to play for Canada because I believe his mother passed away a couple years ago, and she was Canadian, and he has the dual citizenship and everything. And I believe that's why he decided to play for Canada, to, like, honor her memory and everything like that.
No, it's awesome to see.
That's really awesome with Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see him playing there, and then you got guys like Tyler O'Neill, and then sort of like a bunch of prospects. I mentioned Bo Naylor, actually a few guys from the Jays, Desan Brown, Otto Lopez, and then just sort of like there's a bunch of this kind of other random names that you kind of have heard, but don't really know what happened to them. Jacob Robson, you know him from Team Canada Builds on YouTube. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to kind of see what they're capable of doing. A very, big variety. It's really unfortunate that we couldn't get, Joey Votto, Josh Naylor,
Vlad
Jr. Oh my goodness, Vlad.
Yeah, like if we got those three players, the team would have shifted 100%. Like, I feel like we could have been able to, compete with Mexico, because I was talking about it with Mookie and Sudo on Mookie's podcast, and I think the top two teams for our pool, which is Pool C, I think we're going to be third. And I think USA and Mexico are going to be the top two teams.
Yeah.
If we had those bats, I feel like we would have been able to compete with Mexico a little bit, but, we'd still have to upgrade our pitching and everything.
Yeah, we should definitely give Colombia and Great Britain a run for their money. Obviously, I can't see us beating the U.S. unless, something really insane happens. It's possible. You never know, but not likely.
I mean, they do have Kyle Freeland on their team, so you never know.
Yeah, but then they also have, like, Mike Trout, Nolan
Yeah.
Arenado, and a million other guys who could swing the bat. So we'll see. But hopefully they can at least make some noise, win a couple games. I don't think anybody's expecting them to do anything crazy. Obviously, they're a big time underdog compared to some of the top tier teams in this tournament.
Like Japan, the DR, Venezuela.
Yeah, yeah, Japan, DR, Venezuela, Korea, U.S., Puerto Rico. So, they're maybe like middle of the pack as far as like all the teams. Because, I mean, you have some teams that like clearly are not going to do anything. Like the Czech Republic, do they play baseball there? I wouldn't have known that. Panama, Nicaragua, Israel. I mean, Israel's got a couple of decent players, but there's a few. That's like it's a good thing to have more teams and more countries and more people involved in this.
Grow the game, of course. Grow the game.
But you don't want to just like I don't know if you just want to like throw countries in there just because like we want to have 4 more teams. Like I wonder how they like decided on those. If
I'm not sure.
Like, is there like play-in tournaments like with Olympics and stuff like that? I wonder.
I would assume so, like of some sort.
Yeah, there's got to be like some way to like earn your spot in this, right? Because you think other countries that aren't here would want to be there, but I don't know. I should look into that maybe and find out what the route to the World Baseball Classic is for all of these teams.
I will say a couple more things about Team Canada that I just thought of right now. Team Canada was actually projected on MLB.com to be the eighth best team in the power rankings. Surprisingly enough, that one kind of shocked me a little bit. With DR being first, US being second, then Japan, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Venezuela, Cuba, and then it was Canada, Italy, and then Korea.
Say they ranked,
which was actually kind of shocking.
Ranked Canada as number 8, really?
Yeah, they ranked Canada as number 8. Yeah.
8 out of what?
19 teams or 20 teams.
20 teams. That's not too bad.
Yeah, so like middle, like you said, middle of the pack.
Maybe we'll surprise some people. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Canada was like playing for a medal in this? Wouldn't that be insane?
If they were playing against the DR, I'd lose my mind. And we'd probably lose the game, but But another big thing with this, I mean, even if we don't, go far in the World Baseball Classic either, there's great coaches and everything with this team. Like, you got Larry Walker at first base. He's going to be able to teach a lot of the young guys some stuff. You got Paul Quantrill, who used to pitch for the Yankees, I believe, back in the day. He's the bullpen coach. And you also have Russell Martin, also a coach. It doesn't specify here on MLB.com. It just says coach. But, those are 3 very skilled individuals who have played in the MLB. And a lot of the young players on this team are going to learn a thing or two from those guys.
Oh, yeah. Lots of those guys for sure. I think even their manager, Ernie Witt, he's been around Baseball Canada and baseball for a long time too. I don't know how good of a where he ranks as far as how good of a player he was, but sometimes it's not always the guys that are the best players that make the best managers and stuff like that. It's very rare I find that you see the guy who's the best player on their teams growing up and who ends up becoming a manager. It's just those guys. It's always those guys that grind it out, did things the right way, learned tons of stuff about the game, right? So. But yeah, I mean, imagine being a guy like Bo Naylor or, some of these young guys, even a guy like Tyler O'Neill. He's still relatively young. You come in there and you get to learn from, spend some time with Freddie Freeman, and then you're learning from a guy like Russell Martin, Larry Walker. That's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. So great for Baseball Canada, an awesome experience for all of the young players. And really, I mean, it should just, only help us in the future and, get more kids interested in baseball. And, who knows where we're going to be, 10, 15 years down the road. Because if you look back at, Team Canada in the past, I think this is probably this has got to be the best team we've ever put together. The more, the most sort of major league players, major league ready talent that we've ever seen. Nick, do you know when was the first World Baseball Classic? You know?
Let me see.
I wonder what I want to look at.
March 3rd, 2006. The first game in WBC history saw South Korea defeat Chinese Taipei 2-0 before a crowd of 5,193 at the Tokyo Dome on March 3rd, 2006.
I want to look up 2006. Whoa, my computer's tripping out.
Oh, Justin Morneau would have been on the team for sure.
Morneau.
Jason Bay, probably.
Jason Bay.
That's probably it.
I just realized learned the other day that Ken Griffey Jr. holds the record for most RBIs in a single game at the World Baseball Classic with seven. I think I didn't know that. Yeah,
And Ubaldo Jimenez holds the record for 10 strikeouts in the game, and I think Shohei Ohtani is going to destroy that.
Ubaldo Jimenez. Remember that time he gave up a walk-off home run to Edwin Encarnacion? Because whoever was managing that team, I think Buck Showalter decided to not put in Zach Britton, who was the best closer in the league that year. I mean, I'm not mad about it. Yeah. So if we take a look at 2006 Team Canada, you had, Matt Stairs, your boy Matt Stairs.
You don't know who Matt Stairs is.
When he was a member of the Royals. Yeah, Justin Morneau, Jeff Francis. So I remember he was really hyped up back in the day. Morneau, Jason Bay, Corey Koski. That's a name I haven't seen in a long time. And Paul Quantrill was on that team, so he's now a coach.
Wow.
But he was pitching for that team in 2006. And then, a bunch of guys I've never heard of. Stubby Clapp.
Stubby Clapp.
So, I mean, we've come a long way from that. I mean, obviously, Morneau, Jason Bay, really solid guys. But, to where we are now, I think is definitely just a more well-rounded team. And you can sort of see where baseball has come to in Canada. And hopefully we can, make a little bit of noise, win a few games, and get people excited.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
All it's going to do, I think, is just going to ramp up excitement for the Blue Jays season as far as in Canada specifically. So Nick, I want you to give me who, some of the players, who are you excited to see? What matchups do you want to see? Are there any, players you really want to keep your eye on when it comes to, these World Baseball Classic games?
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to be biased a little bit here, but I really want to see Brady Singer against Freddie Freeman. It just depends on who's going to be the starter that day, but I really want to see Brady versus Freddie Freeman. Of course, everybody wants to see Mike Trout versus Shohei Ohtani. I think that's a matchup that's highly, highly anticipated, especially if the U.S. and Japan meet in the finals.
Oh, my goodness.
I think that would just break the internet.
That'd be insane.
What else? Sandy Alcantara versus Jose Altuve is a matchup I really want to see. Venezuela versus the DR. We're going to get that at some point within the next week or so, probably. And Francisco Lindor against Christian Javier. Again, Puerto Rico versus the DR. If you've noticed a pattern, I love the DR this year. The DR is my second favorite team. I'm going for them all the way. I think they're just gonna take everything. Those are some of the matchups that I want to see the most.
That Dominican roster is absolutely
even without
insane.
Vlad Jr., it's the best lineup in the WBC. I think
probably
along with the US,
the best baseball team that's ever been put together. In the history of baseball.
The pitching for the DR is so much better than the US, which is why I say they're going to win it all.
Yeah, you got Alcantara, Cueto, Camilo Doval, Luis Garcia, Brian Abreu, Jimmy Garcia, Christian Javier, Rafael Montero,
and De Los Santos too. He's a very under the radar kind of guy.
Hector Neris,
play for the Guardians.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they're not pitching Joel Payamps too much, because he absolutely was awful for the Jays when he played for them. I think he played for the Royals too. I think that's.
I think so.
But yeah, and then you look
Gregory Soto, Montero.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you look at their lineup,
the worst part about this team is the catcher position, and Gary Sanchez can still hit nukes.
Yeah.
Even though he might not make a lot of contact, he's still good. Like if he connects with the ball, he's still gonna hit it pretty hard.
Yeah, and you know what? It's okay to have like, be kind of lacking at one position when the
Yeah,
other eight are
exactly.
just loaded. Willie
And you got Willie
Adamas.
Adames, you got
Yeah.
Cano, Devers, Franco, Machado, Marte, Pena, Teoscar, J Rod, Soto, Cruz. Like,
Yeah.
good lord, man, this team is godly. And I think it's going to be U.S. and DR when it comes down to it, but I think the DR wins.
Man, the thing with the US is like I really feel like if they're in like a really close like pitching matchup game that they would end up losing like a game like that. So I don't know if they don't get me wrong. I would not be surprised if the US made the finals. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the whole thing. Do I think they're going to? No. I also like I don't know if I see them making the finals. I think Venezuela is like
Venezuela has a really good under the radar team. I looked into it in depth today, and they're going to give the Dominican a run for their money.
yeah. And
I
I
mean, they're
was
going to
like
get second place regardless, but
I was listening
in their pool.
To a different podcast and they were talking about Venezuela and like how much playing on this team and in this tournament means to those guys from that country. And I'm not saying like I'm not going to take it away from any other players from any other country, but when guys who are close to the game of baseball are like, yeah, these guys like they want it really bad and their team is like solid, man. Like
They got Alvarado. They got Luis Garcia, the long windup Luis Garcia. They got Pablo Lopez. I think it's some solid pitching. They got Martin Perez. They got Erod. They got Jesus Luzardo. They got Ranger Suarez as well. They got Salvi, Narvaez, Chirinos behind the dish. They got Altuve, Eduardo Escobar, Andres Jimenez, some of the most underrated players in MLB. Luis Rengifo, Eugenio Suarez, Gleyber Torres, Acuna, Santander, Cabrera, and David Peralta.
Yeah, Ronald Acuna Jr. Let's not forget about that kid. Yeah, that's
like these. Like I love this team. I love this team so much.
It's crazy, like that they're in the same pool too. So they're going to be playing against each other very early on.
Yeah, that's going to be a matchup to really look forward to. I think
that's
probably my favorite. Probably the game I'm looking forward to the most.
And Puerto Rico, like that pool D is kind of crazy.
Absolutely, it is.
And then I don't know. You can just never count out Japan. Those Japanese leagues and those players in those Japanese leagues.
Oh my lord! Yeah, Otani, Darvish. God, they're gonna lead the charge over there. I thought Kodai Senga was playing for Japan as well, but apparently he's not.
I had no idea that Lars Nootbaar was like part Japanese.
Yeah, he's got he's a descendant from Japan. I think his grandmother or something.
I wonder what the rule is, like how far removed, or if like.
I'm not too sure.
Interesting. But yeah, I mean, obviously then they have, most of their roster is people that we don't know over here in like the West, but Japanese ball players are good ball players, man. They produce really good ball players. Same really with Korea. They're usually a force. And I don't even know, like, Korea probably only has like maybe like 2 guys that play in the MLB, but the Korean leagues too,
There's
KBL.
Kwang Hyun Kim, Ha-seung Kim, and Tommy Edman, I think.
Yeah, how many Kims are on the team? 5? 4 or 5? Tommy Edman?
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, I mean, you never know. Like, that's the beauty of the tournament, right? Is that you really like we all have our favorites. Obviously, this Dominican team, like, people, if they're not at least competing like really seriously to win it, like. That would be a shock more than anything. Like, I don't think there's any question that they're going to be one of the last 4 teams in the league in the tournament, let alone probably win it. But again, it's baseball, and as we all know, anything can happen in those 9 innings. And
it's a great and beautiful game, man.
Especially when you're getting into teams with this caliber of players, right? We're literally going to see, besides a few guys that are injured and can't play now, but like the best players in the world play against each other. So hopefully the one thing that I like, not that worries me, but just because it's right before the MLB season and, like some of these guys, there's going to be like pitch counts and stuff like those. Obviously the MLB teams, they're not letting their guys go out and throw like 120 pitches or anything like that. So
No.
it'll be interesting to see sort of how some of those pitchers get used and stuff. But I mean, most of these teams have pretty good depth and stuff, so it's not like you need guys to go out and pitch 9 innings or anything like that, unless they're twirling an absolute gem. But it's gonna be fun to watch, and it starts tomorrow.
Yeah,
By the
man,
time this is posted,
wait.
it'll be tonight.
Cuba versus Netherlands and Taiwan.
Cuba versus
11 p.m.
the
Eastern,
Netherlands.
12 o'clock. But I'm still going to be up watching that game. I'm going to be sleeping in.
Watch Chadwick Tromp and Xander Bogaerts, Didi Gregorius. For
Andrelton Simmons, Kenley Jansen for the Netherlands as well. They got a pretty solid team over there. When we were talking about it on the pod,
Bert Blyleven is their pitching coach.
Yeah,
and Andrew Jones on the bench coach. All right, okay, Netherlands.
We actually placed them to get a playoff spot in their pool. And Pool A, Chinese Taipei, Netherlands, Cuba, Italy, and Panama. I think Cuba and Netherlands are going to be the top 2 teams from there to advance to the playoffs. Netherlands have a pretty solid team. Got a pretty good team.
Oh, it's going to be fun to watch. I'm just excited for just baseball in general.
Yeah, you got the WBC starting tomorrow. You got lots of reveals coming this week with MLB The Show. The show coming on the 24th, early access. Woo!
Yeah, 24th, that's what? 18 days away.
18 days away, yeah. And you also, MLB's opening day coming on the 30th. Which is awesome, too. So.
Baseball. Baseball, Nick. It's baseball season.
Yes, sir. March is always one of my favorite months of the year.
Oh, man. I need to make it out to a baseball game this year. I didn't get to go at all last year because my last year was...
I went to a couple last year. It was great.
Crazy for me.
Back-to-back walk-off games. I think it was Bryson Stott. And the next night it was Ramon Urias from the Orioles.
What's like the
back-to-back
the
nights.
best like live baseball moment you've seen, or game you've been to? Is there one that sticks out the most?
Jorge Soler's 23rd home run in June 2019.
Where was that?
Against the Blue Jays at the Rogers Center.
At the Rogers Center.
Yeah.
Soler.
When I got to see the Royals play live for the first time.
How many times have you seen the Royals play?
Just once.
Just that one time. Nice.
And the Bryson Stott moment was fucking crazy too. The Philly crowd was insane.
Yeah, that kid had some big moments last year.
Mm-hmm. He really did.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, baseball. I'm excited. I'm only cutting out that one part today. It's only usually about the people only usually miss about like maybe a minute worth of footage and talking that gets cut from these. So, the best thing I probably ever saw was I was in Seattle in 2016 for Jays Mariners, which was insane. It was literally packed, probably 80% Jays fans in a away game. Like it was
really,
yeah, it's crazy because it's so
80%
close.
80% Jays fans.
At least 70, more than half. Like
wow.
Everywhere you go around the city is just people in Jays jerseys, and then you go to the game because it's so close to Vancouver and like the border, right? So everybody just floods down from BC when the Jays are in town, especially when they're good. Like, they were. I don't know if like
especially when they're good.
Like I don't know if like tons of people were going in 2002. I'm sure people would go, but not like those Bautista, Donaldson, Edwin years were like that team was good, man. But I got to see. So I went to 2 games. In the first game, I saw Michael Saunders and Russell Martin went back to back, which is kind of crazy.
Michael Saunders. Oh,
that was the year he was hit like 26 bombs and was an all-star. Although he had like a good half of the year, and the rest of the year he's
Canadian
garbage.
too, isn't he?
Yeah. So like it was like these Canadians go back to back, and Edwin and Donaldson both also hit home runs that game. We won like 10-2. J Happ of all people got his 20th win of the season that game. And then the next game I went to, we were Felix Hernandez pitched, which was cool. And then we were losing 1-0 top of the ninth, and then Bautista hit this absolute moonshot into the section I was sitting in. So the place went nuts, tied the game. But then we brought in R.A. Dickey in the 12th, and we blew it. But it was still fun. Robinson Cano. Yeah, there was like Dickey came in, and then a couple of defensive miscues, and then walk-off sack fly from Robinson Cano. But man, live baseball is just the best.
It is the best. I plan to go to 5 different ballparks at some point this summer. When I'm on my 2-week road trip, I'm gonna go to 5 different ballparks.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go everywhere.
Just all up in the.
I'm gonna go everywhere on the East Coast that I can. Like I want to go to New York. A lot of homies I want to meet over there. PA, there's lots of people there. Mass, I've met a lot of people from Mass over the past month through Twitch and everything like that. Yeah. So I want to meet up with them. I want to meet up with Brez at some point this summer as well. He's literally 4 hours away from me. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. What else? So many people I want to meet, so many ballparks I want to go to, so much baseball I want to watch, so many beers I want to drink. So
many giant chains you want to buy.
Yeah, bro. Oh my god.
Hey,
I need to get some more chains.
That Orioles ballpark awesome or what? It looks cool.
Oh, Camden is beautiful, dude. It is beautiful. Top 3 ballpark.
What are all the ballparks you've been to?
I've been to the Rogers Center, Camden, Progressive Field, Fenway, and Citizens Bank.
And what's your Baltimore was your favorite one, or which one?
Baltimore's my favorite so far.
Nice. I need to go. I still that's a lifelong goal of eventually going to all of them.
Go to all 30 stadiums.
Yeah. Or whatever parks they might be at by who knows how long it's going to take me to complete that. Yeah, I've been to Toronto, obviously, a couple times. Target Field was actually pretty cool. Wrigley is cool, but it's just old. So, and I also went right at the beginning of the year, so the ivy wasn't grown and green or anything. It was just still like dead vines, so it wasn't as nice as it could be in the middle of the summer. And it was super cold. We went to the game where they got their World Series rings from 2016, so that was cool to see, but then it just was so cold and the most boring game. It was Andrew Tolles, do you remember him? He led off the game with a home run, and then nothing happened until the 8th inning. It was so boring. But I've been there. I've been to Chase Field, San Francisco, Seattle a couple times, and Citi Field. Is that it?
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, I'd like to go to Citi Field. I want to try and tackle the New York stadiums the most this summer. I'm more excited to go to Citi Field than Yankee Stadium. You
don't want to go? I would it's the only thing that I deters me, but I would have rather have gone to old Yankee Stadium because it's more historic, but it's obviously not a thing anymore, so whatever. Seattle and San Francisco are super nice. They're probably the top 2 that I've been to.
Oh my god, I want to go to Oracle.
It's so nice.
I want to go to Oracle the most, nice. I think. With McCovey Cove and everything.
It's cool. It's a cool stadium. The city itself is it's not bad, but the baseball park is really nice. Well, I guess to wrap it up, we're just excited for baseball. We're excited for MLB The Show to come out in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be just pedal to the metal content right now for both of us, I think. Obviously, for the foreseeable future. We're just going to have to pace ourselves, not burn out, but just there's going to be tons of content coming from
lots of stuff to do.
From the podcast, from Nick, from me. Man, so many things. I'm so excited.
It's going to be a great year.
It's going to be a great year. Like you said, it's our year, bro. It's our year. It's going to happen.
100%, man.
Things 100%. Are happening. I just want to say I appreciate everybody who's been listening to our podcast. We're on episode 4 now, and then the goal is to keep bringing you these at least once a week throughout the course of the game, and hopefully, into the off season we'll be able to have some other stuff to keep talking about. But that's so far away. We're not even going to worry about that. Don't want to get too ahead of myself. But yeah, I just appreciate everybody who's been tuning in. Obviously, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, and Amazon Music, and their Amazon Podcast, whatever you want to call it. You can find us there. We're all over the place, and thank you. Nick, anything else you want to add today?
Yeah. Again, I appreciate everybody who listens in and everything. I appreciate everybody with the compliments and everything. The past couple weeks and everything since we've been doing the podcast. It's been a lot of fun, like just doing this kind of content in general. As you guys know, I used to do the Time Into the Rough podcast with Mick Miller 42 and NMR Sports. It's just really nice to get behind the mic and talk MLB The Show and everything like that. Just IRL baseball and, just shoot the shit and everything. And,
oh, man.
we appreciate you guys tuning in and everything.
Just wait until, the real MLB The Show content starts. We have so much to talk about. Oh, I'm just so excited.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So excited. There's going to be so much. It's going to be a great year. Great year for the game. Great year for, content. This community has just been growing and growing over the past 5 years. So it's just an exciting time. Mm-hmm. But with that, I think we're going to sign off for today. Again, you can find us basically on everywhere that has podcasts. But, and if you want to see us, go check us out on YouTube. You can see us look like idiots for an hour at a time or whatever. Spirit. Jazz hands. Jazz chisel. Jazz hands. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Nick, it's always a pleasure to chat with you.
You as well, sir.
See you later, everybody.
Peace.